with Ernest Caston on the bird's eye view of real estate. And today I have a special guest, Mr. Gabe Clarke, Mr. Ready to Buy himself. Hey, I need a applaud machine so I can give it up to you.
We'll give each other a round of
Gabe.
applause.
So, hey, this is Gabe Clarke from Guarantee Rate, and I'm gonna call him Mr. Ready to Buy. Me and him just had a wonderful conversation, and let the people know who you are, Gabe.
How everybody doing? My name is Gabe Clarke, Vice President of Mortgage Lending with Guarantee Rate, specifically Team Singleton. I am here to help everyone understand a little bit more about FHA 203K loans tonight. My a little bit of my background. I have been in real estate in one aspect or another for the past 12 years. I've done property management. I've been a realtor. I've worked at appraisal management companies. This is all before I even decided to come over to the loan originating side. It helps having those experiences. It absolutely helps. We understand, not just me, but me and my team. We understand the home buying process, and it allows us to have some really in-depth conversations, and kind of help smooth out the bumps in the road, and get you across that finish line. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm thankful to be here. I appreciate the opportunity, Ernest.
So, Gabe, let me ask you this: so, how long have you been in the business?
Like I said, real estate, 12 years. Mortgages, we are coming up on 4 years now.
Okay, so you got everything down packed. Then you pretty
I,
much you got it on lock. You know what you're doing.
I've even when I don't, I do.
Yeah, and that's the way you should be. That's the way you
Mhm.
should be. And plus, you surrounded with a great team. I know you with Corey Singleton
Yes.
and Rashad Shine and Lone Bay. The whole crew over there is just a great team, a well informed team, and very knowledgeable of the loan process across all spectrums. I know today show we want to give people insight on real estate investing with the 203K. I've been talking to a lot of people that want to get into real estate investing, and I'm trying to find the entryway for them to get into it.
Yeah.
So, kind of explain to them what the 203K loan product is.
Simply put, it is FHA's version of a purchase and a rehab loan in one product. So,
Okay.
FHA, you know, to those that don't know, they are a government backed, federal government insured loan, right? Their job when they created FHA was to make home buying a little bit more accessible, you know. So, people with, lower credit scores, or, families, elderly, people on disability, they just wanted to make it more accessible, more affordable. And that, I think this probably happened like right around the Great Depression, you know.
Okay.
It's been in effect since I think 1934. So
Right.
that's how far we're going back here. But the federal government, they insure the loan, right?
Okay.
Because the requirement for down payment, you're only putting 3.5% down,
All
right?
right.
And on paper it looks a little bit riskier, but because the goal was to make home ownership and buying a little bit more accessible, a little bit more affordable,
Right.
the government, they insure the loan, they back the loan, right? Which actually makes it a lot better for the banks when it comes to lending, because we know that um, it's insured against default and risk.
Okay.
So that's what makes it a great entry into home ownership, into investment. There's some things that we'll talk about later,
Right.
regardless, but that's pretty much what that is with the 203K. It's just an FHA loan that allows you to buy and also rehab a house.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. So in real estate investing, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are thinking about being a landlord. Can
Yep.
you use it? Can you use a 203K loan for like a 2, 3, or 4 flat or a multi-unit type of
Absolutely.
property?
Absolutely. So you can rehab and repair single family properties and properties from 1 to 4 units.
Okay.
So if you are looking to invest in a multifamily property, which is anything from 2 to 3 to 4, primary residence,
Right.
unit, this is a great way to get in because you're not having to put like 15 to possibly 25% down on an
Okay.
investment. You know, um, yeah, absolutely. You
So
you definitely
you mentioned primary residence. So everybody that's out there, if you're looking to start investing and you want to start off with a maybe 2 to 4 flat unit building, you
yeah
would have to make it a primary residence. They have to live in one unit and maybe rent the other three, maybe 3 units out as residual income.
yeah at least 12 months
Okay.
is a FHA guideline. So like you're saying, 2 to 3 to 4, it's all a great purchase. You know I like 2 units,
You're right.
um,
You like 2 units?
and here's the reason why. It still allows you to do purchase a multifamily property, right?
Okay.
3.5% down. So you get credit for the rents, right? It allows you to kind of house hack where you can live in one for a period of time. You can rent
Mm-hmm.
the second one out, reducing your cost, right? But you don't have to have reserves. When it comes to 3 and 4 units, you look,
Okay.
you're looking at additional reserves, and like I said, we can get into those details a little bit later. But
Right.
that's just generally there's a 3 month reserve requirement when you're looking for 3 and 4 units because FHA, they want to know that you have enough reserve cash outside of your down payment, outside of your closing costs, to actually cover the cost of rent. Because
Maintaining.
it might take you a while to actually get somebody in, renting.
Right.
So, with the 2 unit, you don't have that same requirement. So it's kind of love.
Okay. So is there a certain price point far as, so let's say if I find a building that's they trying to sell for $100,000, I want to give people insight on how it works. So I find a building that's maybe, let's be realistic, $200,000.
All right.
But it need maybe, let's say, $75,000 worth of work. How does that work?
All right. So, um, the most important aspect when it comes to 203Ks is going to be what we consider the after repair value, right?
Okay.
So, you know, your realtor, this is where we would work hand in hand, right?
Exactly.
You would want your realtor to run comps
Hmm.
to kind of see if after repair we purchase this. If we purchase this for 200,000, we need to know that this building is going to appraise at a certain value, right?
Right.
And the difference between what you pay and what the appraisal value is, we need to make sure that the repairs can actually fit within that scope, right?
Okay.
Plus a little bit more. There's some contingencies there. You can go up to, I think, 110%. Whatever the appraised value is. So you have a little bit of room that you can work with, but you want to make sure that you guys, when you go in, you and your realtor, you and your consultant or your GC, you
Right.
know, you identify exactly what you want to take care of, and
Okay.
try to get a scope of work. But then you want to also make sure that scope of work is going to fit in with whatever you determine that ARV to be, right?
All right. So
So you need to make sure that the purchase price where you're purchasing isn't too high where you can't get all your repairs done. You need
right.
to make sure that you're negotiating to a point where you have enough room where the ARV is, where that
Hmm.
purchase price is, and everything in between is going to be, for labor and repairs and rehab or remodeling.
Right. So it's essentially, it sounds like you need to make sure you gonna have some equity in there.
Absolutely.
So if you find a property for 200,000, it needs $75,000 worth of work in order for to get that to go through. The best thing to do is hopefully to have a property that's valued at maybe $400,000.
Man, yeah. So you want to make sure there's enough headroom there, you know, where you can actually get everything that you need done. You can get it taken care of.
Hey, we got I got another special guest want to jump in on me.
Who's that?
I'm gonna bring him on in. I got somebody want to jump in on me. Oh, ain't nothing like it. Come on, where you at?
Yes.
Yo, what's up?
I got the money man in the building.
I got to get in on a little bit of this action.
Come on. Hey, now if those of you don't know, we've been blessed. You got Gabe, and now you got like top tier loan officers in the building. Am I saying that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. And you got Mr. Corey Singleton,
Corey
the money man himself. Brother Corey, how you feel?
I'm well, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I like that beard. You letting it get thick on me, huh?
Yeah, I'm growing it out for a little bit, man.
Hey, I like it. So what we're talking about is pretty much, is there a limit, a minimum amount or a maximum amount far as trying to combine the acquisition and the cost of repairs and utilizing a 203K as an investment property?
Not really. You know, the maximum is whatever the max loan amount limit is for FHA in that county, which by the way went up. It's pretty awesome, man. If you want to move this, you can move it. It's pretty awesome. Matter of fact, let me get, because I want to give an exact number since we're live. You got it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Gabe. What is it?
You see how they move? This a team right here.
One unit is 426.80.
Okay.
2 units 538.650.
Okay.
3 units 651. Right, and a 4 unit is 809.150.
So think about this. So in essence, Ernest, you can buy a 4-unit building for $200,000, and you can put $600,000 in it if you need to, because your max loan amount is $800,000.
$800,000.
Now think about this as well. See, a lot of people don't know this. This is when this product is so good, because you can get really crazy with this. You could convert a 6-unit to a 4-unit.
Oh, wow. You duplex.
You can knock it all the way down if you want.
You said what?
So think about the capabilities that you have and how your market expands now. And what a problem that we have right now is there's not enough inventory, right? Exactly. This is an answer for the lack of inventory, because you have the flexibility to reconstruct the property. You can go up to 4 units. So it's a phenomenal program. And we do them very well. Now, let me be clear. It's not easy.
Okay.
Right? We simplify it, but it's not easy. There's a lot of intricate pieces that have to come together for a 203K to work in harmony, and there's a lot of people that are involved, and I know Gabe, anytime you want to jump in here, go right ahead, but you guys have me pop in, man. Y'all know it's
no. Hey, first of all, it's a pleasure to have both of you guys on here.
Here's what you need though, and the key to this working, besides having a skilled loan officer that knows how to put it all together, the variable where we see the most challenges and the breakdown is with our contractors. And so we want our clients to do their due diligence to vet the contractors, because we can't refer anyone, we can't suggest anybody. All we do is vet them to make sure that they have their credentials in place and they meet the requirements, which, they're licensed, assured, and bonded, right? They don't have any, felonies or warrants out, and they don't owe the IRS hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if they meet that criteria, which is very simple, then they're in a position where they can be eligible contractors. But that does not mean that they're good contractors.
Right.
We encourage our clients, go to their projects, their current projects, see the kind of work that they're doing. Speak to the owners that are getting the work done. You want to vet your contractor, because that person is the key to these working successfully. Because they have the paperwork part is very detailed and precise. They work hand in hand with the HUD consultant to make sure that the numbers are accurate. There's no changing of the numbers after the fact. You're not just giving a estimate. Oh, it's going to cost you $200,000 to rehab it. No, this thing has to be itemized line by line, broken down by material and labor, very detailed and very precise. Because once we fund this loan, Ernest, that's it. It's funded. We can't go back and change the loan amount. We can't go change the numbers. The numbers are what they are. So I just really wanted to hop in and emphasize the beauty of this program, because the opportunities are endless with what a buyer can do. But also
just refi, you can do both.
Yeah. And then Gabe mentioned this, and I mean, if he wants to elaborate on it, but when he said you can knock it down, literally, like we can do if you bought a house that was, let's just say a 2-unit caught on fire, and the only thing left is a piece of a roof and 4 walls. You can buy that house, knock it down, and build a brand new one with a 203K.
Yeah. Oh wow! Now, what's the time frame to close? I have several questions. First of all, was statements and several questions. First of all, I know with the contractors, they shouldn't be trying to use their cousins, uncles, and things of that nature. You want to make sure you use bona fide contractors.
Yep.
Okay. The second thing is what's the price? What's the amount where you have to bring in a HUD consultant that's going to walk you through the process?
Well, you want to answer? You want me to answer this, Corey?
Well, yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's fine. So the technical answer is 35.
Okay.
But we tell clients 30 because there's a contingency that we have to add. Okay. And so once you add that contingency, it pushes you over 35. So 30,000, anything over 30,000, a HUD consultant is required.
So there's 2 types. You have, we still call them standard and limited, right?
Right.
You can do the standard has a minimum of, I think, of 5,000. The limited, it actually, anything, it can't exceed 35,000. So that's what Corey's talking about.
Okay.
But like you said, once at 30,000, that's probably the price point that we let them know, because of that contingency that you're going to need a HUD consultant with you, with you on the deal. So.
Okay. Now, is there a credit limit? Minimum credit, what, 580, 620?
620.
620? And close time?
Well, it depends on how good of a GC you have. That's actually going to, fill out the forms. That's actually going to, submit everything on a timely manner. HUD consultant that's going to do the same thing. So your team is going to dictate the speed of the deal.
Okay. That's awesome. Now you say I could build from ground up.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I don't know if it's just me just being crazy. So like you said, if it's a roof left, is it possible a single family I could turn that into a multi-unit, build a new construction?
As long as there is an existing foundation.
Okay.
There, you can purchase and you can renovate. And if that means tearing it down to the foundation and rebuilding, if the budget allows for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. That's awesome. Now, what about time frame as far as having to hold on to the property itself?
It's your typical FHA. The same time, nothing changes. You sign an occupancy affidavit that states that you plan on occupying this property for a minimum of 12 months.
12. Oh, wow. So that's awesome. So now after 12 months, me and Gabe, we spoke, and I was wondering, can you use a 203K to start off with one family unit or multi-unit, 2 to 4 unit, refi up out of it maybe a year or so after that, maybe pick up another one? How does that work? Or should I just go from a multi-unit straight to start my investment career picking up an investment property? And should I just translate that to maybe trying to pick up another investment property, or do I have to go straight to a single family?
So let me be clear on this. The 203K is a purchase rehab loan, and it's an excellent vehicle. And we say that it's great to launch your investment career. But I want to be clear. It is a primary residence loan only, meaning you are purchasing it with the intent to occupy. And according to the FHA guidelines, once the work is complete, you're intending to occupy within 60 days. And then you're also intending to occupy it for a minimum of 12 months. Now, after 12 months, if you decide that you want to move on to the next property, then that's your choice. But we can only use a 203K loan for properties that we intend to occupy. And so what that means is if that first purchase was a single family home, 12 months later, it's going to be difficult unless you dispose of that first property. It's going to be difficult to come back and say, oh, well, now I want to buy a multifamily with a 203K loan, because most people don't leave a single family residence to go to an apartment building, right? The other way around, perhaps, but definitely not backwards. So you still want to be very intentional with utilizing this product and utilize it to its best use. And so if someone is looking to eventually get into investing in real estate, I always say that this product is the way to go. I personally used it for my first purchase. I still own that property today, but bought it distressed. I used a 203. It was a multifamily. I used a 203K loan to rehab it. And after I had it rehabbed, there was equity in it. I refinanced it, got rid of the mortgage insurance, and eventually I converted it to a full rental and bought me another property to live in myself. But I still own that property today. But that purchase was instrumental to every other purchase that I made.
Moving along.
I wasn't able to go and buy another building 203K and do it all over again. It's not a vehicle intended to be used for your investment purchases, but it is a vehicle intended to be used to launch your investment career.
So the strategy you just called off is pretty much like the Byrd strategy.
Yeah.
What's that? Buy, rehab, refinance,
and
then repeat. Yeah. So I mean, I think people definitely need to reach out to you guys to establish, or to at least start off there, like you said, to launch their investment career. And with another thing, with inventory being low as it is, like you say, you can't purchase a distressed property. Instead of looking for that finished product, you can utilize it to finish it off to your standard.
Yeah, even structural,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe that's a great opportunity for us to try to inform the audience, those that want to reach out to Mr. Corey Singleton, Gabe Clarke, the money team. They definitely very knowledgeable of the situation. Hey Corey, what's your new name, Gabe? The money man.
He calling me Mr. Ready to Buy now. That's
we're gonna call him Mr. Ready to Buy.
Yeah, we call him the Lone Wolf.
The Lone Wolf. Hey, you need to talk to him. The strategy, what he gave me with the Ready to Buy, I was loving it. And I definitely want to be able to build a business and work with you guys and inform my audience. And definitely, I know your audience is already in tune with what's going on. You guys can you give me offer any of your last word as far as when it comes to real estate investing and building some type of generational wealth? Corey, start off with you.
I mean, that's it. It is the key, in my opinion, to building generational wealth. It starts with real estate. It starts with owning your own home. It's the only thing that you, not the only thing, but you're able to transfer down from one generation to the next. And when you think about assets, real estate is one of the few assets that you're able to actually borrow to acquire. You can't go borrow money and say, I want to go borrow money to buy, 1,000 shares of Google. You have to use your own funds, right? You got to use your own money to build those assets. If you want to go open a business, people say, oh, well, you can get a business loan. Try getting a business loan with no experience and no traction, right? But as for real estate, being a first-time home buyer, there are a number of programs and products that we have available, such as the 203K, which puts you in a position where the barrier to entry is extremely low. You're putting out 3.5% of the total, and then you're also going to build equity that you can then use for your next purchase and your next purchase. So it is the foundation to building wealth.
Yeah,
exactly. Gabe?
Well,
I know it's gonna be hard to follow behind Corey.
I mean, he's a tough act to follow, No, but I just think that knowing and understanding how things move in communities, especially with real estate taxes and business taxes, owning something gives you a say. And to kind of piggyback on what Corey was saying, being able to put 3.5% down and owning, something, you know, substantially more in
Right.
value than just what your initial, investment was. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to put the investment down. We have ways for to help, but we can talk about that later.
Right.
But being able to take so little and actually get control over so much is very important. And you know just being able to purchase multifamily properties and house hack, allowing yourself to, now start stacking away for another investment. It's just so smart.
Right.
I don't know what type of return on investment you can actually get from another asset like that outside of, multifamily or shoot, even single family homes, so real estate is definitely, it's key. It affects a lot.
And I'm gonna finish off with you with that. I'm in agreement with both of you guys, obviously, because we all in this industry, and I definitely when I come across my peers, those that's not in the industry, those that's working a regular 9 to 5, I tell them pick up some type of land, pick up some type of real estate. Do not go out throughout your work career and paying a landlord, not owning anything. You have nothing to pass down to your kids, nothing to pass down to either maybe your siblings or anything. Start that career, that investment career, by picking up a multi-unit. I think that's the best way to go, the best avenue to choose, and starting that career. So I appreciate you guys coming in, chiming in with us, Corey. I definitely appreciate the cameo. You know what I'm saying? The Corey Singleton cameo, get a little love from me, and Gabe, I appreciate you, brother, and I
Yeah.
look forward to working with you guys again.
Yeah.
I mean, we appreciate the opportunity,
All right.
brother. Real.
Yeah, appreciate it.
On Wind
Hey,
Down
I'm Ernest.
Wednesday.
You said what now?
On Wind Down Wednesday.
On what?
Wind
I
down
mean,
Wednesdays.
I done top my little glass off, but there ain't no water no way. So try to make it look good. Hey, I appreciate this Wind Down Wednesday with Ernest Casson and the Bird's Eye View of Real Estate. Mr. Gabe Clarke, Corey Singleton from Guaranteed Rate. If you guys need any financial needs when it comes to real estate, these are two guys that you need to reach out to. Information is across the screen. Links will be in the post. Reach out to these guys. Let's start the process. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, you too, brother.